Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today, we're diving into the unexpected and eye-opening stories of famous figures who faced not only fame, but also the toughest life challenges that led them to behind bars. Stay with us as we explore the journeys of stars who once lit up the world, only to end up confined. Leave a comment with the number 1 to join us on this revealing journey through their struggles. Amy Locane, a popular actress from the 1990s, once graced the silver screen, but now finds herself facing the consequences of a tragic event that has overshadowed her career. In June 2010, after attending a BBQ party where she had been drinking, Amy made the fateful decision to drive home despite being intoxicated. Driving at 53 miles per hour in a 35 mph zone, her reckless speed resulted in a collision with Fred Seaman's car as he was pulling into his driveway. While Fred survived, his wife, Helen, tragically lost her life. Following the crash, Amy's blood alcohol level was found to be 3 times the legal limit. Initially sentenced to 3 years in prison, the lightness of the sentence sparked public outrage, considering the gravity of the situation. However, the case was reopened, and in 2019, her sentence was extended to 5 years. Subsequent appeals resulted in an even harsher sentence of 8 years for vehicular manslaughter. Amy is currently awaiting a clemency review, with just 1 year remaining before she becomes eligible for parole. Anand Singleton, better known by his stage name Big Lurch, made a name for himself in the late 1990s, but his promising career took a tragic turn. His debut album didn't achieve the success he had hoped for, and soon after, he was involved in a devastating accident when a drunk driver hit him, resulting in a broken neck. Dealing with both physical pain from the injury and the disappointment of his stalled music career, Big Lurch turned to PCP for escape. What began as an attempt to manage his pain quickly spiraled into a full-blown addiction. He became severely neglectful of his health, ceasing to eat or drink while continuing to use drugs, which eventually led to intense hallucinations and a complete detachment from reality. Under the influence of drugs, rapper Big Lurch became delusional, believing demons resided in his roommate's stomach. Standing at 6'7", he overpowered his 21-year-old female roommate in a horrific attack that led to her death. The drugs he consumed played a critical role in the gruesome crime. When authorities apprehended him, he was incoherent and appeared unaware of the atrocity he had committed. In November 2003, Big Lurch was sentenced to life in prison without parole. Despite his mental state at the time, he was denied an insanity defense due to his drug use leading up to the incident. Tay K, one of hip-hop's youngest rising stars, saw his career crumble as swiftly as it rose. In 2017, his breakout hit, The Race, shot up the Billboard Hot 100, gaining widespread attention. However, the very day of its release marked a turning point. He was on the run from law enforcement. After 3 months as a fugitive, he was captured and later linked to a robbery that resulted in murder. Despite his immense talent and potential, Tay K's actions led to a 55-year prison sentence, cutting his promising music career tragically short. In 2016, Tay K was involved in a home invasion that led to the tragic death of Ethan Walker. The plan was to rob a drug dealer and his friends, but it ended in violence. Placed under house arrest for the crime, Tay K defied the system, cutting off his ankle monitor and fleeing. He brazenly taunted authorities on Twitter, daring them to catch him. During his 3-month escape, he released The Race, a track that became a viral hit. However, his defiance ultimately led to his arrest and conviction, marking a swift and tragic end to his once promising music career. While on the run, Tay K's troubles deepened when he participated in a robbery that led to a man's death outside a Chick-fil-A in Texas. Adding to his crimes, he assaulted and robbed a 65-year-old man, who later identified him to the police. These incidents compounded his legal woes, solidifying his downfall. In custody since 2017, Tay K is now serving a lengthy sentence, with a minimum of 27.5 years before he becomes eligible for parole. Joe's son, known for his small role in the first Austin Powers film, attracted attention not only for his acting career, but also for the serious crimes he committed. His life took a tragic turn when he was convicted for acts of violence, sexual assault, and manslaughter. In 2011, he was convicted for torturing and sexually assaulting a victim in Huntington Beach. Later, while serving his sentence, he was also convicted of manslaughter related to the death of his cellmate, Michael Graham. Joe's son's criminal history began in 1990 with a horrifying case involving kidnapping, sexual assault, and threats to a woman's life on Christmas Eve. Initially evading capture, he was later linked to the crime through DNA evidence after being convicted for felony vandalism. Despite a brief stint in the spotlight, Joe's son's criminal acts soon overshadowed any trace of a career. His violent and predatory behavior led to long-term imprisonment, and ultimately, death behind bars. Joe's son's story stands as a stark reminder of the severe and lasting consequences of criminal behavior, highlighting the deep impact such actions have on both victims and society. Kaalan Walker is a striking example of the dangers of power abuse and manipulation in the digital age. Using his fame and influence on social media, he preyed on vulnerable young women, creating a false persona of concern and emotional connection to gain their trust. Walker exploited the admiration his followers had for him, deceiving them and using his platform to carry out harmful acts of abuse, ultimately taking advantage of their trust and vulnerability. His actions serve as a chilling reminder of the risks that can come with online fame and the manipulation that can occur behind seemingly genuine interactions. Walker's 50-year prison sentence represents a crucial step in holding sexual offenders accountable, underscoring the importance of advocating for victims' rights and strengthening protective measures. This case serves as a powerful reminder to both society and the legal system of the need to prioritize the safety of vulnerable individuals and ensure that offenders face full legal consequences for their actions. It highlights the ongoing fight for justice and the necessity of creating environments where victims can feel protected and supported. Zara Phythian, 39, and her husband, Victor Mark, 59, recently faced trial at Nottingham Crown Court in the UK, where they were convicted of 14 counts of sexual abuse. Their crimes took place from 2005 to 2008 when the victim was still a minor. According to BBC, testimony from the victim, identified as A, detailed the couple's brutal abuse. The victim reported being threatened into silence and feeling unable to escape the situation. Additionally, Victor Mark faces 4 additional charges after another woman accused him of sexually abusing her between 2002 and 2003, when she was under 18. Senior Investigation Officer Parander Dillon expressed appreciation for the courage of both victims and hoped that the sentencing would bring them some comfort. He also emphasized that this case would serve as a cautionary lesson for others. Adidja Palmer, widely known as Vybz Kartel, is a renowned Jamaican reggae and dancehall artist who achieved global fame. However, his career and life took a drastic turn after his involvement in a controversial incident. Kartel was allegedly linked to the theft of a firearm that he believed Clive "Lizard" Williams had stolen. In retaliation, it was reported that Kartel had orchestrated Williams' murder. Unlike another musician we'll discuss later in the video, who mistakenly targeted an innocent person, Kartel's case became a highly publicized legal battle, marking a significant chapter in his life and career. On December 29, 2011, Vybz Kartel was arrested and charged with drug possession and illegal firearms. Although he was granted bail for these charges, he remained in custody due to his involvement in the murder of Clive Williams. Kartel's trial faced significant delays, including a 3-year postponement caused by issues with jury selection. Eventually, on November 18, 2013, after one of the longest trials in Jamaican history, lasting 65 days, an 11-member jury found him guilty. Kartel was sentenced to life in prison, with the possibility of parole after serving 32 years and 6 months, meaning he could potentially be considered for release in 2046. R. Kelly's legal issues date back to the 1990s, but he was not formally indicted until 2021. In the early 2000s, he was a dominant figure in the R&B industry, but today, he is serving a prison sentence for charges such as human trafficking and sexual abuse. The first signs of trouble emerged in 1994 when Kelly was accused of convincing singer Aaliyah to falsify her birth certificate so they could marry while she was still a minor. This incident marked the beginning of a long history of allegations against the artist, culminating in his conviction years later. Disturbing allegations against R. Kelly continued to surface in the years that followed, including claims that he injured a woman in 1996. In 2002, videos emerged that allegedly showed Kelly engaging in inappropriate behavior with minors, further tarnishing his reputation. A camera containing disturbing images was also seized by authorities. Despite this mounting evidence, the charges were ultimately dismissed due to a lack of sufficient proof to secure a conviction at the time. These events laid the foundation for the legal troubles that would resurface later in Kelly's career. However, the case didn't end there. R. Kelly was accused of holding multiple women hostage in a harmful environment, and as this information spread, many women bravely came forward to accuse him of abuse. As a result, R. Kelly was sentenced to 30 years in prison in June 2022. Toby Willis is a shocking revelation behind the once-beloved TLC show featuring the Willis clan, a musical family led by Toby Willis and his 12 children, who captivated audiences with their talent. Their journey took them to the quarterfinals of America's Got Talent in 2014, where they received widespread praise and admiration from viewers nationwide. But few were aware of the dark truth hidden behind the image of the Willis family, a secret that could have destroyed their entire reputation. Beneath the warm and loving facade of the family lay a horrifying reality. Toby Willis was, in fact, an unlawful sexual predator, targeting 4 girls, including his 3 daughters and a relative, while they were under the age of 18. This heartbreaking truth came to light in 2016 when a brave victim decided to speak out and report the abuse to authorities. Toby Willis was arrested, and even more disturbing details were uncovered. In 2017, he pleaded guilty to 4 counts of sexual abuse of a minor, permanently tarnishing the image he had built in the public eye. He was subsequently sentenced to 40 years in prison without the possibility of parole and ordered to pay a staggering $1.4 million to his victims. Additionally, he was required to register as a sex offender for life. The repercussions of his heinous crimes rippled through his entire family. Before Young Thug became famous with hits like Pick Up the Phone and Lifestyle, he was reportedly implicated in several gang-related criminal activities. On May 9, 2022, the rapper was arrested on charges of conspiracy and gang activity dating back to 2013. A total of 56 charges were brought against him, many of which are extremely serious. One of the charges ties him to the rental of an Infiniti Q50 sedan, which was used in the murder of rival gang member Donovan Thomas Jr. In addition to the conspiracy and gang-related charges, young Thug also faced serious allegations after police raided his home. He was charged with possession of controlled substances with intent to distribute. Furthermore, police found several dangerous weapons at his residence, including sawed-off shotguns and rifles. More gang-related charges were added to his case. Young Thug is affiliated with the YSL Street Gang, and 27 other members of the gang are also facing criminal charges. He is currently in custody awaiting trial, scheduled for January 9, 2023. If convicted, he could face up to 20 years in prison. Austin Jones rose to fame with his singing videos on YouTube, including covers and original songs, attracting over 500,000 subscribers and millions of views. However, in 2015, Jones unexpectedly canceled his upcoming Vans Warped Tour and posted a YouTube video in which he acknowledged the allegations against him and expressed remorse. On June 9, 2017, authorities searched Jones' home under a warrant issued by a U.S. federal judge. That same day, Jones was arrested at O'Hare International Airport. He was subsequently sentenced to 10 years in federal prison on May 3, 2019. Shockingly, during the investigation, it was revealed that several other individuals had also attempted to cover up his misconduct. As a result, Jones's YouTube channel was removed. Danny Masterson's journey reflects the classic tale of highs and lows, with success overshadowed by turmoil. Born in Long Island, New York in 1976, Masterson gained fame playing Stephen Hyde in the hit television series That 70s Show, captivating audiences with his mysterious character. However, his career took an unexpected turn in the mid-2010s when serious allegations of sexual assault surfaced, tarnishing his once bright image. The major shock came in June 2020, when Masterson officially faced 3 charges of sexual assault. The public legal battle and proceedings have cast a dark shadow over Danny Masterson's personal and professional life. The fallout was swift, with his talent agency severing ties and distancing him from the industry that once embraced him. As of 2023, at age 47, Masterson remains in legal limbo. Public focus on the case highlights the complexities of fame, power, and accountability in entertainment. The case's outcome is bound to shape his future, profoundly impacting his career and personal legacy. Harvey Weinstein, the renowned producer behind films like Pulp Fiction and The Lord of the Rings. The Fellowship of the Ring was once a powerful figure in the film industry. However, his empire collapsed in 2017 when the New York Times and The New Yorker exposed the dark side of his career. Numerous victims courageously came forward, sharing stories of how Weinstein abused his power to coerce sexual favors. Despite his attempts to silence them using his influence, a wave of brave confessions from women led authorities in New York and Los Angeles to launch investigations. Weinstein faced his first trial in Manhattan in January 2020, and by the end of February, the disgraced producer was convicted of third-degree rape and first-degree criminal sexual assault. He was sentenced to 23 years in prison. However, Weinstein's legal troubles did not end there. In a separate trial in Los Angeles, he received an additional 16-year sentence, leaving him pleading for clemency. Weinstein's downfall marked a pivotal moment in the #Me Too movement, exposing the prevalence of sexual misconduct in Hollywood and shedding light on the wrongdoings of other prominent figures in the industry. Jim Gordon was a respected drummer in the realms of blues and rock music, known for his collaborations with Eric Clapton and Alice Cooper. However, amid the applause and fame, Gordon grappled with a silent torment: schizophrenia. Auditory hallucinations, including the voice of his mother, constantly haunted him. Despite his efforts to seek help, he was misdiagnosed with alcoholism, allowing his mental state to deteriorate further. Tragically, Gordon lost control under the grip of psychosis, with the voices urging him to commit a terrible act. In a moment of madness, he turned against his own mother, leading to a devastating outcome. Arrested in 1983, Gordon was correctly diagnosed with schizophrenia, shedding light on his anguish. Initially sentenced to 16 years in prison, his continued threat to society resulted in his extended incarceration. His story highlights the complexities of mental illness and the tragic consequences of untreated conditions. Despite his significant musical legacy, Gordon's life serves as a somber reminder of the silent struggles endured by many and the imperative need to understand and address mental health challenges. The murder case of C Murder made headlines in 2003, when the famous rapper was arrested for killing Stephen Thomas, a 16-year-old fan. Corey Miller, also known as C Murder, has consistently maintained his innocence since the incident. The case stemmed from a confrontation during a rap battle in 2002, when Thomas accidentally clashed with a member of C Murder's crew, leading to a violent altercation that ended in Thomas's death. Notably, 2 witnesses testified that they were coerced by the police to identify C Murder as the perpetrator. Darnell Jordan, a security guard present at the crime scene, admitted that he was arrested and detained until he agreed to cooperate and testify against C Murder. The case also drew the attention of Kim Kardashian in 2020, as she worked tirelessly to uncover the truth and seek justice. However, despite her relentless efforts, C Murder remains incarcerated, serving a life sentence. The only way for him to gain freedom is to provide compelling evidence that proves his innocence and identifies the true perpetrator of the crime that occurred on that fateful night. For years, Zach Avery deceived not only friends and family, but also big investors, convincing them that he could secure massive profits from movie deals that never existed. Promising projects that he claimed would be released on major platforms like Netflix and HBO, Zach swindled millions of dollars. However, when the truth finally came to light, those deceived realized that all of his promises were nothing more than elaborate fabrications. Zach Avery, once an aspiring actor, transformed into a smooth-talking con artist. But in the end, his deceitful actions led him to an inevitable downfall. In truth, Zach Avery was running a Ponzi scheme, using funds from new investors to pay off old debts while continuing his lies and fake promises. Eventually, his deceit caught up with him, and Zach was sentenced to 20 years in prison, along with being ordered to repay over $230 million to his victims. As he languished behind bars, Zach's fall from grace became a powerful reminder of the dangers of chasing dreams through dishonesty. His story echoed throughout Hollywood, serving as a stark warning about the importance of integrity and ethics on the road to success. For decades, Bill Cosby was celebrated as one of the most beloved figures in entertainment. His influence spanned various fields: stand-up comedy, television, books, and film, creating a legacy that seemed untouchable. Born in Philadelphia in 1937, Cosby grew up in a working-class family and used humor to connect with others. After serving in the Navy and studying at Temple University, he discovered his true passion for comedy. By the early 1960s, Cosby had established himself as a relatable, accessible comedian, captivating audiences with stories about family life and universal experiences. In 1965, Cosby broke racial barriers by becoming the first black actor to star in a primetime TV show, I Spy, winning 3 consecutive Emmy Awards. This groundbreaking role paved the way for future generations of black actors. He continued his success with the animated series Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids in the 1970s, teaching children valuable life lessons and solidifying his image as a cultural icon. With The Cosby Show in 1984, the show portrayed an ideal black family and became one of the most watched programs of the decade, earning Cosby the nickname America's Dad. However, behind the image of the ideal family was a disturbing secret. Allegations of sexual assault began to surface as early as the 1960s, but were largely ignored due to Cosby's power and influence. The first public accusation came in 2005 when Andrea Constand, a Temple University employee, accused Cosby of drugging and assaulting her. Although the case was settled out of court, it led many other women to come forward with similar stories. In 2014, comedian Hannibal Buress reignited public attention with a stand-up routine, calling Cosby a hypocrite and urging the audience to investigate the accusations. Since then, a wave of more than 60 women has come forward, sharing similar experiences of being drugged and sexually assaulted by Cosby over several decades. Cosby's legal troubles reached their peak in 2015 when he was charged with aggravated sexual assault in the case brought by Andrea Constand. His trial became a pivotal moment in the #Me Too movement, symbolizing the accountability of powerful men who had long escaped justice. In 2018, Cosby was convicted on 3 counts of aggravated sexual assault and sentenced to 10 years in prison. However, in 2021, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court overturned his conviction due to a prior agreement made during the prosecution, leading to his release after nearly 3 years behind bars. Although legally freed, Cosby's reputation was permanently destroyed. Once hailed as a moral icon, his legacy now stands as a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked power and the importance of transparency. Ryan Grantham, a 24-year-old actor known for his roles in television and film, shocked the world when he committed a horrific crime in 2020. Grantham pleaded guilty to second-degree murder for killing his mother, Barbara Waite, and was sentenced to life in prison with no possibility of parole for 14 years. According to CBC, during a June trial in Vancouver, the court heard the chilling details of the case. Grantham shot his 64-year-old mother in the back of the head while she was playing the piano on March 31st, 2020. Even more disturbing, he recorded a video confession of the murder and concealed her body. The shocking story doesn't end there. After the murder, Grantham loaded his car with 3 guns, ammunition, 12 Molotov cocktails, and camping gear with the intention of attacking Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. However, before carrying out his plan, he changed his mind and decided to turn himself in to Vancouver police. Presiding Judge Kathleen Kerr called Grantham's decision to abandon the attack his saving grace. Psychiatric reports revealed that Grantham had expressed remorse and feelings of self-loathing after killing his mother, along with thoughts of self-harm. According to CBC, the court concluded that Grantham had been battling depression for months before committing the crime. They determined he killed his mother to spare her from witnessing the violent plan he had set in motion. Jen Shah, star of the reality show The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, was found to be involved in a large-scale fraud scheme targeting the elderly and vulnerable. Since 2012, she and her assistant, Stuart Smith, operated a telemarketing network that sold fake products and services to victims. These customers, primarily seniors, were deceived into purchasing bogus courses and service packages, falsely promised to help improve their finances or grow their businesses, but were left with nothing but scams. Jen Shah's scheme thrived for years, fueled by deceptive marketing tactics, including using telephones and media to create the illusion of a legitimate business opportunity. However, in 2021, the FBI launched an investigation that ultimately led to Jen and Stewart's arrest, charging them with wire fraud and conspiracy to commit money laundering. Initially, Jen Shah denied the allegations, but faced with overwhelming evidence from the investigation, she pled guilty in 2022. She admitted to participating in wire fraud, which resulted in her being sentenced to 6.5 years in prison. This case serves as a significant lesson about the consequences of deceit and exploiting others, especially the vulnerable, regardless of the perpetrator's fame or status. In 2017, the nation was rocked by a scandal involving William Hayden, the prominent star of the reality TV show Sons of Guns. Hayden's glamorous public image began to crumble in 2014 when rumors of misconduct and sexual abuse started to circulate, tarnishing his reputation. Accusations of sexual assault against 2 young girls in Louisiana cast a dark shadow over Hayden's name, signaling an inevitable downfall. As the rumors grew, Hayden's world unraveled, culminating in his shocking arrest, which marked the end of his career. Despite his denials, mounting evidence painted a damning picture of a predator disguised as a public figure. The ensuing legal battle became a battleground of truth and deceit, with courageous victims stepping forward to expose Hayden's crimes. Their testimonies, filled with bravery and perseverance, revealed the depths of Hayden's depravity, offering hope to survivors and underscoring the urgency of justice. In the courtroom, the case reached its climax when Hayden was convicted on all charges and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. While justice was served, the scars left by Hayden's crimes remain as a profound reminder of the resilience of the human spirit and the relentless pursuit of accountability and justice. For years, Allison Mack portrayed a strong advocate for women's empowerment alongside her acting career. She also led a multifaceted marketing company, but beneath the surface of this enterprise lay a disturbing truth. In 2018, the FBI uncovered Mack's involvement in a sex trafficking and forced labor case under the guise of the group DOS, Dominus Obsequious Sororium. This secretive group recruited women who were subsequently branded and coerced into acts against their will by founder Keith Raniere. After her arrest, Mack quickly pled guilty to charges of conspiracy and extortion, seeking a lighter sentence. She cooperated with authorities, providing critical information that led to the apprehension of other key figures in the organization. Raniere was later sentenced to 120 years in prison, while Mack received a reduced sentence due to her cooperation. However, public scrutiny intensified when Mack was released early in July 2023, sparking debate over the effectiveness of the justice system. Allison Mack's story serves as a sobering reminder of the complexities surrounding exploitation and the pursuit of justice in cases involving manipulation and abuse of power. In another high-profile case, Drechsel, the renowned champion of NBC's American Ninja Warrior, faced serious legal challenges after being accused of engaging in illegal sexual conduct with a young woman in New Jersey. The case became public in June 2019 when the victim, a young woman, courageously came forward, revealing a troubling story about their relationship. Prosecutors stated that the relationship began in 2014, with sexual acts occurring from 2015. Detailed allegations indicate that they met at Drechsel's gym in Connecticut, often when his girlfriend was not present. Their relationship reportedly extended to various locations in New Jersey, including restaurant parking lots and outdoor public spaces. Prosecutors also highlighted claims that Drechsel engaged in provocative conversations over Skype, while the woman was undressed and possessed pornographic material featuring her. Drechsel now faces serious charges, including production of child pornography and traveling with the intent to engage in illegal sexual activity. He has adamantly declared his innocence, but these allegations have shaken both his fan base and the public, who once admired his reputation and achievements on American Ninja Warrior. As legal proceedings continue, the once bright future of Drechsel's career remains in jeopardy. Thank you for watching today's video about the stars paying the price behind bars. We hope these stories have given you a deeper insight into the struggles they face and how their lives have changed. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss out on upcoming exciting videos. See you in the next one.